Australia's John.
But you use my second name, so how do I know it's me?
McInerney. John McInerney.
Okay. So I had a few moments to reflect while the other wonderful storytellers were telling stories. And that's big things about it there, that I pointed down to my chin. Talking from my chin. Anyway, so Irish Catholic story is based in Ireland. You can imagine in the 1960, 65 or 66, I'm like 13 or so. 13, yeah, 12, 13. My family in the way of things, in a colonialized nation, we're part of the migrant train, to England, because it's, the economy of things in Ireland in the 1960s. We went there in the 50s actually, and the way it works is just like it works now for people from South America or anywhere in South America. They come here and it's what do they call it? Serial migration, right? Chain migration. Dad goes over, mom goes, maybe the oldest kids go, the youngest kids go, and it happens over a period. Anyway, that all happened to us. And then there was the great family tragedy that occurs that brings you back home again, because from migrant to return, there's always a tragedy involved. Right? So we did that, and we had our tragedy, and we went back to Ireland. But not all of us, because by now my older brothers, I'm the youngest of 6, were settled over there. And Christmas is coming, and of course it's a big thing. It's not, the misery that you experience in church at Mass, we don't call that misery now, we call that devotion. Because you have to be devoted to something greater than yourself. And it doesn't just involve religion, it also involves food and objects, because you come from dire poverty, so anything you get that has a shine on it is brought out for Christmas. And with us that included, Waterford glass, crystal, my grandmother's handmade white damask tablecloths, all of that stuff, all the finery that the family has accumulated over the generations brought out for Christmas. And my mother's dream of all parents, I'm old enough now, my kids have left home, they're not going to be here for Christmas this year, so we're like a little bereft. We're not sure what to do without the little ones anymore. Now they're big and hairy guys, girlfriends and what have you. And so we do feel a little bereft. So I have some sympathy for how my mother felt. She wanted all our children back from England in the family home in Ireland, where she was raised by my grandmother, in the hometown, where, by the way, my mother's family had been in this hometown for 900 years. So we're really kind of rooted in this place. And we go down, and I think my mother just assumed that everybody was coming over, which would have been like 5 older siblings, 4 older siblings, plus their partners and whatever kids they had at this point, which there were a few kids, I had nieces and nephews when I was 10, 11 years of age, so I had probably 3 or 4 nieces and nephews as well, so a bunch of them, big bunch. And so we go down to the market, which was a live market that farmers come in from the country with the turkeys, big turkeys, and they let them loose in the market square. There's a temporary fence put up in the market square, and the turkeys are running around, and you you go down to the market square, you pick out your turkey, and they take it over to the basement of the town hall, and they wring its neck, and they put it on the scale, and they weigh it, and, you know. Yeah, my mother picked out a 26-pound turkey. Right? 26-pound turkey. Big enough for probably 16 people, 15, 16 people. That was what she was expecting. Where we were going to put them all, I don't know. There would have been a few people sleeping on the floor, you know, whatever, couches. But anyway, that was the great hope. You know, this is where the devotion comes in again, because we had to deal with my mother's misery when the great hope didn't transpire. You know. This sister couldn't come because of that. My brother couldn't come because of that. It ended up just the four of us: my mother, my father, myself, and one sister. And we sit down. We've got the damask tablecloth, the Waterford crystal, beautiful mahogany dining table, not pulled out as far as it could be pulled out, and the 26-pound turkey, huge piece of turkey, and at some point, we're all sitting there still trying to, you know, be devoted, and not say anything about my mother's obvious misery, which was, you know, laying like a wet, heavy blanket over the whole event from each other. And I reached out to get something on the table and knocked over the gravy bottle, and the gravy went all over the white damask bed. And for a moment there was silence, and then my sister said, "Well, don't just sit there, get a bit of turkey and wipe it up."